Okay, we'll call the Tuesday, April 16th, 2024, Williams County Board of County Commissioners to order. Beth, we call roll.
Barry?
Here.
Corey?
Here.
Bo? David?
Here.
We have a quorum. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll start with the consent agenda. What are the wishes of the board?
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Barry?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Bo?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Motion passes. Okay, we've hit the public comment section of the agenda. Anybody from the audience want to address the board? Okay. I guess we'll move on. Do we want to do, I believe Dennis needs to be on. Let's go ahead and go start with Dennis.
Okay, at the last commission meeting, we read the bids for County Road 17, and today we'd like to award to Central Specialties as low bidder for $4,361,846.96.
Perfect. We tabled those, right, last meeting? Oh, just that one?
And one more,
Yeah, we had,
just to award.
okay.
I would make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Corey?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Bo?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, County Road 19 was tabled from last 2 weeks ago commission meeting. We'd like to award to Central Specialties. Bid amount $15,136,901.41.
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Dennis, can you just, so everybody knows, kind of explain the award and what we're waiting on?
We're waiting on a permit, our 404 permit, from the Corps of Engineers and, for wetlands. So we have 45 days now to get the notice to proceed. Within 45 days, we're hoping to have that permit.
Okay. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Steve?
Yes.
Bo?
Yes.
David? Barry?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay.
Thank you, Dennis. All right. Lindsay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have for you today the 2024 Tourism Grant recommendations. This is the only cycle for this year. Last year there were two. This year there's just one. Again, we went with two different types of grant awards, capital and events and advertising. Applications were reviewed by the Tourism Grant Application Review Committee. The recommendations are in your packet. Do you want me to read them?
Sure.
Okay, I'll go through them and then seeking approval as recommended or changes that you would like to make, and then authorization for the chairman to sign the agreement. If you remember, when the program was approved for this year, the pro forma agreement was part of that initial approval. And then for anything that would be deviate from that pro forma pro forma agreement is noted in the recommendations. So for capital, Arnie's Motor Ranch, $7,000 towards getting their new dirt track set up, contingent upon successfully completing the City of Williston's planning and zoning process. The Coyote Clay Target League, $20,000 towards their skeet trap setup. Save Red Mike, the Links of North Dakota, $10,000 towards the construction of a new cart storage shed. $3,000 for the Porch and Ray for funds towards their menu and signage. And $20,000 for the Tioga Historical Society for installation of infrastructure as well as construction materials for the new facility that they're constructing next to the current museum. And that's the total of $60,000 for capital. For event and advertising, there's $25,000 available, and $5,000 was the maximum award. And so since there were 5 applicants that all had events that fit the intent of the program, and they had applications that were acceptable, the recommendation was to provide $5,000 for up to 80% of specific expenses for those. And then noting on the U.S. Energy and the Green Palace Foundation that would be a direct bill pay for the final payment of the band. Then the other awardees being the Granora Community Club for the annual Granora Bash, the City of Tioga for the Midwest Murder Podcast, which is an event that they bring to town, and then for the 2024 Tioga, North Dakota All-School Reunion to be held in conjunction with the Freedom Fest this summer. Any questions?
Just a question on the 80% of construction costs on Tioga Historical Society. It shows a max cost of $20,000, and maybe I'm confused on that.
So holistically, the grant program requires a 20% match. So the funds that are awarded can only be for up to 80% of the costs anyway. And so because some folks had requested in their application more than that was allowed by the program anyway, so it's up to 80% of the total cost, or a maximum of $20,000 for a capital and $5,000 for a event and advertising.
Gotcha, thank you.
Match is always a good idea until you have to do math, and then it makes
Okay, what are the wishes of the board?
I would make a motion to approve, have chairman sign.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
Bo,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Helen, I believe you're up.
Right, you have a position report in front of you, and there are 2 positions that need to be reviewed for your approval. One is an equipment operator truck driver position at County Highway, and the other is the QA and training coordinator at Dispatch.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, Beth, roll call vote.
David,
Yes.
Barry,
Yes.
Corey,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Bo,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, and I will say we did have somebody join the meeting late who had hoped to speak during the public comment section, but just wasn't here when it happened, so I leave that to you to decide.
Sure.
Thank you.
Go ahead and come on up if, we got rolling pretty quick, so. That's fine.
Sorry I'm late, the website said 8 o'clock for the starting of the meeting.
If you could state your name for the record.
Okay, my name is Edward Rivera. I'm a resident of Williams County. And I sent you guys a letter on April 8th. I wanted to address you on the regulations that are out of date involving some double taxation that I see out here. Now, I can go through these 10 pages if you guys haven't read it, or, you know, I'm not a person to say anything about anything behind somebody's back. What I came here to explain is there's a huge disconnect in the permitting process, how things go, the utilization of the taxation money that I think need to be looked at. And you guys are the commissioners, you're my voice to the governor. You know, if I write him, it just goes to the dump. So unfortunately, I want a word back there, I gotta show up here. So, but that's the point in the commissioners. So I don't know how you want me to proceed with this. You want me to read these 10 pages into the minutes?
Yeah.
Which commissioner did you send a letter to? To all
I
of us?
sent it to your county assessor's office. God, I forget her name.
Darcy?
Yeah, she's the head, well, she's on the commission board, I believe. Oh, I think it was you, wasn't it? Oh, you didn't? Well, I sent it to your business card address. Okay, well, then I'll go ahead and read through it. I have requested a voice in front of this commission to explain my frustration and dismay of the government overreach and lack of adjustment or elimination of tax bases that affect the common layman attempting to purchase, build, or construct a private dwelling today in North Dakota. I am a layman who expects our elected government to take the best course of action to represent the public who elected them. Continued tax increases, repetitive taxation through permits, classification of different structures is not protecting the taxpayer from overtaxation and repetitive taxes. The primary purpose of counties is to provide government services to residents, especially those in rural areas. County governments are responsible for a range of duties, including law enforcement, court operations, road construction, public assistance, and the recording of legal documents. The specific function of counties may vary from state to state, but these core responsibilities remain consistent. Counties also play a vital role in ensuring access to essential services. By bringing government offices and officials closer to the people, counties make it easier for citizens to interact with the local government, whether it is obtaining permits, filing legal documents, or seeking public assistance. Residents can often find the help they need within their county. As you are the first line of the political voice that has the ability to carry the message of the common taxpayer and concerned citizen to higher government authorities to enact change, I'm starting here with you as commissioners. So far, my research is related to the HUD laws created in 1974, with no real concerns of how building codes requirements have been added over the decades that clearly change the definitions, safety requirements, and building codes of manufactured and mobile homes. The National Manufactured Housing Construction and Safety Standards Act of 1974, herein referred to as the Act, requires the Secretary of the Department of Housing and Urban Development to establish federal manufacturing, home construction safety development,
Pardon me, just,
construction and safety standards, and to issue regulations to carry out the purpose of the Act. The standards promulgated pursuant to the Act appear in Part 328 of the title. States on or after the effective date of the standards in 76.
I apologize for interrupting you. Because of the complexity and the 10 pages of information, would you be able to come back at our next meeting so we can have everybody review
Maybe
it?
the meeting after that.
Okay. With that, could we just add
I
that?
could just give a copy of that to you now.
Yeah, and then what we can do is then we can have staff review it and provide some
I'm not
opinion.
addressing staff. I came here to address you guys.
Absolutely, but we've got to depend on the staff as well, and then we've got to, yeah, we need, yeah, this is no effort to discourage you from approaching
A
us.
month
It's,
from now,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, it'll give us a chance to review it and then be able to,
Well, I hope so. And I want to say, I'm a layman out here. You know, I got all my information off of your tax reports and, you know, just William County stuff. And yeah, there is some complexities with that. You know, I'm not here to insult you, but I'm fed up with this. And we got an elephant loose in this country right now that, and the only way to stop it is a bite at a time. And I'm gonna start with something that you guys can react to. Under law, you have control of a lot of what's going on here within the county. You know, I've inquired into it in the past, and I get told it's coming out of Bismarck. Well, the only way I know to address Bismarck is through you guys. You know, I've tried writing them, and I don't even get a response out of them.
okay.
Or I'm a lunatic, one of the two.
Well, thank you for, yeah, so we'll miss one meeting and then we'll be at the next meeting, so if you can add that, thank you, Beth. Okay. Any other department heads wish to provide any report? Is there anything else for the good of the order? Then we will adjourn and reconvene as Park Board.
You want to sign the papers now or when we're done? You want me to bring them